A long time ago, well, it really wasn't that long ago, I failed ferociously. Actually, I have failed ferociously many times. And when I have failed ferociously, I go into the depths of despair. I feel that I am the worst human, the worst mother, the worst partner, etc. You can take it from wherever you want to go with that. And what I discovered as I kind of like pulled off layers of those experiences of failing ferociously, I discovered a few things about myself. One, I started changing the way I said that. Failing ferociously became a bit of a badge for me. It was like, ooh, she did it again. But secondly, I started looking at it as lessons wrapped in sandpaper. They're buggers. It's hard, they're rough, they hurt, and they're ugly. But each one of those pieces, when I look back at those massive failures, I can take pieces of those. I can take pieces now and go, oh, that makes sense. And I want to share one with you. When I was going through my divorce, one of the pieces that created great chaos in our life was our dogs. They were messy. They were poorly behaved. We had a chaotic house without needing massive, furry, noisy, poopy heads running around. And I realized that as much as I've always loved having animals in my home, and I felt a home with children should have a dog, not necessarily a cat, but that's just me. I've always felt that they should have a dog. And then I ended up divorced. And we did a system that 1 week the children would go with their dad and 1 week they would be with me. And the week that the children were not with me, I worked a lot. I worked. And so my sweet dog Zoe didn't get the care that she needed. And I started coming home super late, leaving super early, and finding things destroyed, poop, pee all over. And her behavior was getting worse and worse. Until finally I made a really big girl decision and I gave Zoe away. It made me not the fan favorite in the house. Actually, there were tremendous amounts of tears and great upset. That I wasn't really quite sure how to deal with, other than I knew that I couldn't do the dog anymore. And the guilt that I felt from myself, and that my children in their youth and their hurt offered to me, I hung on to that for many, many years. And then one day I was in a park, and let me just step back. I had 5 or 6 years without a dog. I wouldn't touch a dog. I wouldn't pet a dog. I wouldn't talk to a dog. I wouldn't acknowledge a dog. I wouldn't acknowledge anything furry. I just said, you all just go away. I need to deal with this pain that I've created, this mess that I've created. It's my own fault, so I don't deserve to have that love, that unconditional love that a pet brings. Anyways, one day I'm at a park, and all of a sudden I'm standing in the park, and there are dogs everywhere with their owners having wonderful time. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I said, oh my gosh, I want a dog. I want a dog. But in order for me to have a dog, I had to have a conversation with myself. And frankly, I had to forgive myself. And it was that moment that I was able to go back, look at this piece of failure, and recognize that that I did the best I could with what I knew back then. And now I was ready to say, hey, you're allowed to move forward with flaws, and you can try again. And that's what brought me B. B has been a huge piece of helping me practice to love myself, forgive myself, and to try again. And I just find that piece in me so, I don't know, almost shocking that I can have this little bit just with a dog. It didn't even touch, I mean, my children were upset with me, which was difficult, but it was just a dog. And now this dog has taught me so much just because I chose to step into that piece of forgiving myself. And then when you think about that, and you think about all the humans that we have maybe done wrong with, maybe we need to forgive, or we need to forgive ourselves for how we behaved towards other humans. Imagine what we're missing. Imagine those pieces of trying again as we stay caged up in, no, I'm not allowed. No, I don't deserve. It's like, who doesn't deserve this?